Filming myself today because of the incompetency crisis that is pervading America. So we don't need a bunch of crazy stuff to prepare. Today's meal is going to be relatively straightforward. We're going to make some amazing sausage and mushroom pasta. Of course, in order to make that, we want sausage and mushroom. We're going to skip the pasta making part because we have a little bit of pasta left over from last night. I trust that you guys know how to boil pasta for 10 to 12 minutes and strain it, so we can skip that. What we are going to do is we're going to begin broiling the oven, 550 degrees, starting right now. And I am going to get the cast iron hot. The reason why I'm going to get the cast iron hot is if we don't get the cast iron hot, see right here, turn the flame on the stove. If we don't get the cast iron hot, it's actually very difficult to get the proper sear of the steak that we will be cooking for lunch. Small steak. How much did my man Adam get for me on this one? We got 1.1 pounds. So, this might only be about 5-6 ounces of steak. Not a big deal. It is not going to be the only protein that I will be eating right now, but it is a small piece. And you'll notice that it's actually fairly difficult to properly cook a piece like this without overcooking it. And actually, I'm gonna call an audible right now. We're not even gonna broil it because that piece is actually too small for me to think that I will successfully broil that without overcooking the center. So what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna pan fry this on all sides. First, we're gonna coat this with salt on all sides. And then we're gonna coat it with garlic powder on all sides. And this is gonna be a nice, happy, easy to prep meal. Next, we're gonna put some garlic powder on it. Again, on all 4 sides of this steak because it's about 1.25 inches in thickness all the way around, unlike a traditional steak that would have more width than thickness. And so that's why it's gonna be pretty hard for us to broil that. No worries. So we got our steak that's been seasoned. We have our beef sausage that is from Costco. I don't even know what brand this is. It's, let's see, this guy's Michael Kielbasa. His last name's actually Kielbasa. That sounds almost too good to be true, but you can get these at Costco. They're about 18 grams of protein per piece. And then what we also have is some wonderful mushrooms that we're gonna cook on pan number 2. So if you look down, you'll see, I think you can see. Can you see it? Maybe not. You're gonna have to trust me that I got a second pan going. Got the hex cloud going right here. Okay, so let's talk about why I am filming this solo without my far right Latina girlfriend chipping in. So what we're actually gonna do right now is we're gonna put some olive oil on pan number 2, and we're gonna start putting some mushrooms on there in just a little bit. Simultaneously, we're gonna start chopping some garlic because garlic makes everything taste better. So we're gonna add some garlic to the pasta. And you guys have seen me chop this enough that you probably don't need to see me chop it again. But okay, why am I filming this lunch by myself without any help from my girlfriend? It's because my girlfriend got a flat tire driving on a Texas road yesterday. Fortunately, it wasn't dangerous. It seems like it's pretty dangerous to get a flat on the freeway, which she did. She drove over what looks to be like a razor. Like the thing was like this big, just a metal shard. And she had to get off the freeway because there wasn't really a place for her to pull over. So it could have been a pretty dangerous scenario. Fortunately, she didn't even temporarily lose control of the car. Okay, so we see this cast iron steaming. You can see some of the steam coming up. That's how we know it is ready for the steak. That's a wonderful sound. And then we're also going to, we'll put the sausage on. Put the sausage on the back. Not a big deal if that gets done first. Okay, so my girlfriend got a flat tire. She calls me, I'm in the middle of a client call, and I'm gonna wash my hands real quick while we talk. So I'm in the middle of a client call, there's like 5 minutes left. My girlfriend's calling me, I figure it might be a little bit of an emergency. So I tell my man to hang tight. Got to pick up the girlfriend's distress call. She tells me she got a flat. Fortunately, I don't have a ton going on the rest of the day, so I can go meet her. And she's with, our 4-year-old, and we're basically figuring out, like, do I take the 4-year-old back home, or do I just bring her the spare tire, because her spare tire was actually sitting in our garage. So the plan was, okay, wait for roadside assistance to come. I bring her the tire. They do the tire switch, and she drives back home. And she tells me, roadside assistance looks like it's going to be like an hour to an hour and a half. And this was like at 4 o'clock. Okay, fine. I'll take our 4-year-old back. They'll come at 5:30. They'll fix it by 6. He'll be back home at 6:15. I'll start dinner. Dinner's going to be ready for all of us. Okay. But roadside assistance not only does not come at 5:30, they don't come at 6:30. And at 6:30, after my girlfriend had been waiting for about 3 hours, the time estimates kept jumping back. And so, she got a 60 to 90 minute time estimate at 3:45. And then that estimate changed to 30 to 60. Okay, great. Maybe it's going to be done faster. And then that estimate just kept shifting back and forth for a couple hours. And so no progress was made. And, it's like 6:30, and my girlfriend and I decided, like, she wasn't going to stay there past 7:30 to wait for roadside assistance. It wasn't like she was in a bad area. At the same time, like, you don't want to just be hanging out in your car at night. And the reason roadside assistance never came is because State Farm had contracted it out to some incompetent guy who just decided that he was going to cancel on her at like 6:30 at night when she'd already been waiting for 2 hours. Which reminds me, I think Uber and Lyft should charge drivers fees for canceling on customers. Just like customers, they should be able to cancel it without a fee for the first couple minutes, and if it takes longer than a couple minutes, they should have to pay us. In any event, not so much competency going on the State Farm side. State Farm said she could contract her own roadside assistance, and so she's like on the phone with State Farm. I'm calling the roadside assistance from my house, trying to get everything solved. These roadside assistance companies aren't even picking up their phones, going straight to voicemail, and you can't leave a voicemail. So I'm thinking, like, shit, she's gonna have to leave her car at this lot, and are they gonna tow it tomorrow? Like, that's gonna be not a good thing. And thinking through all of this, like, both of us work at home. We can afford, to pay a roadside assistance company $80, or it's actually not that expensive to get them to come out if they're not towing you. So all of these fees and all of this time wasted, we can actually weather that storm. It's very annoying, but we can do it. But most people can't, right? And that's the thing about this incompetency crisis, is when incompetent people are in charge of everything, everything stops working. And so what happened this morning is when she went out to go get her car, throw a little bit more olive oil on and I put the garlic on here. We got garlic and mushrooms. When my girlfriend went out to get her car fixed in the morning, what ended up happening was she found out that the people from Costco never gave her the appropriate lug nut to actually allow anybody to change the tire and put the replacement tire on. So roadside assistance came, But roadside assistance did not do anything. Roadside assistance was actually unable to change the tire, and they ended up patching up her busted tire at a service shop down the road. You know, if this had been in a rural area, like who knows what would have happened. But fortunately, they took her to a service shop down the road. Everything seemed to be going in an okay direction based on that fuck up by Costco not leaving the appropriate lug nut. Okay, so then, and I'm going to put the Rouse tomato sauce in the pan. Okay, so my girlfriend has a busted, and I'm going to put a little bit more butter in this cast iron because it's, I can tell it's drying out pretty quickly. So my girlfriend drives her car with a ghetto repaired tire on very slowly, not on the freeway because, you know, we don't want to be driving at high speeds in case that thing blows out. So she's driving her ghetto repaired tire all the way to Costco to get them to replace the tire that they didn't give her the bolts on. And then when she finally gets to Costco, we're going to take our pre-cooked pasta, throw it in there. When she finally gets to Costco to get the tire fixed, she finds out that Costco didn't, when she goes to Costco to get the tire fixed, she finds out the guy who changed out her flat, or the guy who originally patched her tire, took the tire key. I guess fancy cars have tire keys so people can't steal them. He took the tire key. He didn't realize he took the tire key. He couldn't find the tire key. So nobody knows where the tire key for my girlfriend's car is. So basically, last night, she busts her tire driving on the freeway. She pulls over, waits 4 hours for State Farm's guy to get there because he keeps saying he's 30 to 60 minutes away until he cancels. And so it's not like he said he was going to take 4 hours. He said he was going to take 30 to 60 minutes, and it just perpetually moved back. It's kind of like if you're just waiting for a flight that never takes off. Then when she finally had a guy come to fix it, okay, so now we got 2 sides are nice and brown. We're going to get a 3rd side brown. So when my girlfriend finally was able to get to Costco, she found out that the guy who patched up her tire still has the tire key. They can't find the tire key. And Costco won't honor the warranty for the tire because you're not supposed to patch up a tire, but she had to patch up the tire because Costco didn't give her the lug nuts. Okay, so State Farm made her wait 4 hours instead of maybe 1 or 2 for AAA max. Guy shows up, can't do the tire change because Costco fucked up, shows up at Costco, can't change the tire because the guy who did the tire patch fucked something up. And so every step of the way, somebody's gonna fuck something up that is gonna cost you time or money. And we've never been in a situation in society where service costs are so high, but service value is so low. And this is going to drive people crazy because a lot of people, they don't have an extra few $100 lying around, a couple $1,000 to weather the storm of people trying to screw them over. And we do, but we still don't like people screwing us over and wasting our time. A lot of people have places to get to. They got work. You know, they can't just wait. We can wait. We don't like to wait, but we can wait. And, you know, that's a really, really, really unfortunate place for society to head. But then as your service providers continue to demonstrate incompetence, costing you time that you don't have, costing you money that you don't have, what it's going to do is it's going to cost you sanity that you may or may not have. And what happens when people are low on savings, low on time savings? Most people are time poor or cash poor, and a lot of people are both. But if you're time poor, cash poor, and you got people wasting your time or wasting your cash, that's when you become very angry. That's when you become a kid that's not very friendly to play with in the sandbox. And that is the precursor to just having blow-ups, having people have road rage, having people violently interact with each other. And when these people are already on, okay, so this is good, we're gonna take this off. When you got people who are already on a high number of SSRIs, not good, guys, not good. Okay, so we got our pasta. Pasta's done. We're gonna throw our pasta on Z plate. Tastes great. Got the sausage right here. Start cutting this up just a little bit. Leave this link on the side. Throw these sausages in the pasta. It's not bad, not a bad start. Okay. We will take our Parmesan cheese, sprinkle it on. Take our chili flakes, sprinkle those on. We're going to start cutting our steak against the grain. Yep, that's a good one. All right, so we got steak. Let's see how we did. Fabulous. Continued to be fabulous. Chef Alex doesn't miss. Thank you for tuning in.